Hello again, Guardians. Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today we take a look at a new seasonal build for the Radiant Dance Machines and Void Hunters. I love these exotics, and honestly they work exceptionally well with each of the subclasses. And now that they have seen some adjustments to the multi-dodging functionality, they're stronger than they have ever been, facilitating much better synergy between your dodging and your preferred means of attack. In Season of the Deep, there's several new artifact mods, new subclass fragments, and changes to void aspects that have made this an extremely powerful combination that offers incredible synergy. Radiant Dance Machines comes with the Dance intrinsic trait, which allows you to dodge multiple times in rapid succession. Bungie has adjusted how this works. It now only requires the first enemy you dodge near to be within 15 meters. Once you perform a dodge near that enemy, you'll have 6 seconds to perform as many dodges as possible. Any final blow during this 6-second window will extend this duration up to 11 seconds, which can be repeatedly extended, allowing you to maintain a constant stream of multi-dodge functionality. Like I said before, the Radiant Dance Machines pairs up perfectly with every subclass, but there are those that have some advantages. Their performance with Strand and Solar subclasses are uncanny. What I find especially appealing about the Nightstalker subclass is that with Trapper's Ambush, you're capable of spreading weakening effects across an entire battlefield in the matter of seconds, making every single enemy you come in contact with more susceptible to damage from both you and your teammates. Since we're using Gambler's Dodge, every time we dodge near enemies, our melee energy will be fully restored, which is going to be a huge help towards spamming Trapper's Ambush, a tremendous benefit that provides 15% additional damage to all who are affected, something you'll surely want when you're encountering more challenging enemies at that end game level. On the flip side of this coin, going with Marksman Dodge could facilitate a more weapon-friendly setup. Maybe you're wanting to spam double shotguns or sink a shit ton of rockets into a boss. This is when Marksman Dodge is going to be a much more beneficial option. Weakened enemies will become temporarily blinded, and most rank and file enemies will be weak enough to finish after performing a slam. This in turn synergizes extremely well with Stylish Executioner. Defeating a weakened, suppressed, or volatile enemy grants invisibility along with True Sight. After performing a Stylish Execution, our next melee attack, while invisible, will weaken targets, even if uncharged. This will ensure that we're able to maintain our invisibility, keep our Trapper's Ambush charged and ready to go, while keeping our enemies weakened and immobilized. When timed out correctly, you'll never be without the ability to dodge, then slam. And since we can still share the invisibility with the team, the Radiant Dance Machines are a tremendously top-tier choice in Season of the Deep. Since we can now use 4 Void fragments, we're using Echo of Starvation, so that when we pick up a Void Breach or an Orb of Power, we'll get Devour. This is going to grant health recovery and grenade energy after final blows. We'll generate Void Breaches and Orbs in a few different ways. We'll create orbs thanks to Helmet Siphon mods, the Heavy-Handed Gloves mod, and Reaper class item mod. We have this seasonal artifact mod called Unto the Breach, which provides void breaches when defeating weakened enemies, so no matter how you slice it, we'll maintain Devour as long as we're in combat. The creation of void breaches will play a significant part in our ability to regenerate additional class ability energy, as each will grant 12.5%. To go along with Unto the Breach, we've got Protective Breach, which is going to grant an overshield when we collect void breaches, meaning that we'll have a combination of Devour and an overshield thanks to Echo of Starvation and the new seasonal artifact. We're also using Echo of Leeching. This is going to trigger health regeneration for you and nearby allies when you defeat enemies with the Ensnaring Slam. This provides a secondary source for health recovery that works more as a failsafe to ensure that you don't die. But if you're confident in your survivability, this could be traded out for Echo of Domineering. After suppressing a target, you gain greatly increased mobility, and all equipped weapons will be automatically reloaded. I find Echo of Domineering to be less beneficial for this particular build, since we're utilizing holster mods, which will automatically reload our stowed weapons, and we're utilizing weapon traits that regenerate ammo, like Envious Assassin and Overflow. If you are using Echo of Domineering, suppression grenades will be a fantastic choice, since they will also stun overload champions. The Tractor Cannon, Two-Tailed Fox, and Deterministic Chaos can all be great exotic choices that will pair up very nicely. Echo of Instability is a great choice to grant volatile rounds to void weapons after defeating enemies with our grenades. Even though this build isn't set up around mass grenade generation, we will still have a steady source of grenade energy thanks to Devour. We're also using Echo of Persistence, which extends the duration of void overshields, Devour, and Invisibility. This increases those effects by an additional 5 seconds. When it comes to armor mods, our main focus is to facilitate and work around the use of Radiant Dance Machines. Utility Kickstart isn't going to help, and neither will Melee Kickstart. Both would just be a waste of armor charges, so those shouldn't even be a thought. Beyond that, you won't see much action out of class ability recharging effects, like Focusing Strike, Insulation, or Outreach. So instead, we're using Hands-On to grant additional super energy off of all of the ensnaring slam final blows. And we're using Dynamo to get additional super energy off of each dodge. We've got 2 charged up mods to give us a total of 5 armor charges that can be active at once. And we've got Shield Break Charge to grant an extra armor charge when breaking combatants' shields with a matching energy type. Throwing on a few weapon surge mods will boost our void weapon damage by an additional 17%. And what's great about this season, with unstoppable champions being handled by hand cannons, is that Lumina is a perfect option that can grant you and teammates a massive damage bonus of 35% after noble rounds have been absorbed, while also filling your team's need for an unstoppable weapon. For a class item, we've got Powerful Attraction, which causes nearby orbs to come to you after using your dodge. And with Snapload Finisher, whenever the holster mods aren't keeping up, we can perform a finisher which will drain 1 armor charge in the process, but reload all equipped weapons, giving us several sources to automatically reload our weapons without the need for marksman dodge. This build is absolutely stacked. Whether you're facing up against tanky champions, mini-bosses, or just a bunch of dumb ads, this Void build with Radiant Dance Machines will have you dancing all over the floor, landing devastating blows, just like Patrick Swayze would have wanted. And with that being said, if you haven't given the Radiant Dance Machines a try yet, it's high time you do so. And honestly, it doesn't even matter what subclass you're using these things on. They're absolute fire. One of the very best exotics in the game right now, making for an incredible Void Hunter build for you to abuse your enemies with throughout Season of the Deep. And with that being said, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this Void Hunter build and about the Radiant Dance Machines. Thank you as always for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.